Is everybody ready? Let's do it together. Three, two, one.
One.
One more thing.
On April 8th, 2022, pre-orders for iiRcade's new premium designed cabinet, the iiRcade Gold, went live. After showing off the 3 new cabinet designs, iiRcade still had one more surprise left in store, and then they showed it, the Space Invaders iiRcade Gold. Even though I already owned a Gen 1 Dragon's Lair cabinet, when I saw the Space Invaders Gold, I knew right there and then I was going to have this in my home arcade.
Let me get to the meat of it. Today is probably gonna be one of the most difficult days of my life. From a company perspective, unfortunately, we'll no longer be able to continue with our venture.
And just like that, it was over. iiRcade was out of business, but I still had my favorite home arcade cabinet of all time, my Space Invaders Gold. But I had a problem. After playing it and enjoying it for many months, one day I turned on my iiRcade Gold and something terrible happened. I looked at the screen and there were green lines all over it, with iiRcade being out of business and no way to get a replacement screen. I was stuck, but I knew one thing: whatever it took, I was going to have my gold back. So I wasn't going to deal with having these green lines on the screen. So I went online and after doing some research wound up picking up 2 Dell monitors, only to find out that the power connectors on them were completely different than the one on the Gold. I was starting to lose hope that I would ever have my Gold back. And just when I thought I was never going to be able to fix this problem, Buy Stuff Arcades comes out with a solution. A few weeks later, it showed up at my door. And I gotta say, Buy Stuff Arcades knows how to pack their product. I mean, look at all this protection. You open up the box, and it's covered with a thick layer of cardboard. Open that, the monitor is firmly secured in. Take the monitor out, it's wrapped in foam. Take the foam off, it's wrapped in plastic. Take the plastic off, and the screen has a thick layer of plastic over it. Buy Stuff Arcades definitely wanted to make sure that this monitor is going to arrive at your house in one piece. And they did a fantastic job. But I still had to install this thing. Would it be easy? We're about to find out, because after a year of my gold being down, we're about to install this. Before getting started with the installation, you're going to want to make sure you disconnect the power to your cabinet. Then remove the 4 screws from the back of the cabinet to reveal the PCB. Once open, you can start disconnecting your wires. Start by disconnecting the 2 speaker wires and the marquee wire. Just make sure you always disconnect them by holding the plastic piece. Do not pull on the wires. Now that your wires are disconnected, you can start removing the screws holding the PCB board on. If you can't find the 4th one, it's behind that iiRcade sticker. Just a piece of advice: before removing the 2 side screws, make sure you're holding on to the bottom of the PCB board, so when you loosen them, it doesn't fall. Once the PCB board is removed, you'll see your monitor. What you want to do is remove that silver tape holding your monitor cable and set it off to the side because we'll be reusing it again later. Now we can remove the monitor cable. Just gently squeeze it on the sides and wiggle it out. Do not pull it from the wire. Finally, you can remove the power wire. Just gently grab it from the plastic piece and remove it. Now that all the wires are disconnected, we can remove our monitor. We'll do that by removing these 4 screws. Start by removing the 2 top screws first. Before removing the 2 bottom screws, make sure you're holding on to the monitor because it will fall. Now that the old monitor is removed, we can begin to prepare the new one for installation. As you might notice, you're able to do this entire installation without removing your control deck or glass. Start by removing the 4 brackets from the side of the old monitor because we're going to need to reinstall them on the new monitor. When reinstalling them on the new monitor, make sure to use the provided screws included with the new monitor. Now we can begin to remove the 4 screws from the new monitor because we're going to be using them to reattach the brackets that were on the old monitor. When reattaching the brackets to the new monitor, make sure you tighten the screws enough to hold the brackets, but don't over tighten them. Once the 4 brackets are installed on your BOE monitor, you can install it back in your cabinet. Start by tightening the 2 screws on the top while holding the monitor in place. Then put in the 2 bottom screws. Now we can start to reconnect the cables. When reconnecting the monitor cable, make sure the red wires are facing to the right. Then just snap it into place. Make sure it's flush and it snaps in on both ends. Now grab the metal tape that we set over to the side earlier and secure the cable to the back of the monitor. Now we can start to reinstall our PCB board. Just make sure the 4 screw holes are lined up. Start by tightening in the 2 top screws first, followed by the 2 side screws. Once the PCB board is secured in place, we can start to reconnect the rest of the cables. With the cabinet still unplugged, reconnect your AC wire and USB that runs to the front of the cabinet. Now we can reconnect our left and right speaker wires and the LED wire that runs to the marquee. Now we can reattach our monitor power wire. When connecting the monitor power wire, it's only going to fit in one way, so if you feel any resistance, flip it and try it the other way. Do not force it because you don't want to damage the connectors inside. All that was left for me at this point, before closing up the cabinet, was to put my final seal of approval on the PCB board. Well, we are finally here. It's the moment of truth. I cannot tell you how excited I am to hit the power button on my gold cabinet. It has been a long 1 year without my iiRcade Gold. I thought to make the moment even more special, I popped on my iiRcade Gold hoodie. Before I hit the power button, I just want to give a big thank you to Buy Stuff Arcades for making this product available for iiRcade and Arcade 1-Up. If you're out there and you have a monitor that's gone bad or you don't have good viewing angles, I highly recommend you head over to Buy Stuff Arcades and check out one of these monitors. Are you ready? Here we go.